Thank you very much for the kind introduction. Now I have the task of telling something exciting before the networking dinner. That's the reason why I'm talking about governance. And how to approach the task of governance and how to approach this very important topic. We will go through a reality check and then how to reply, then your industry transformed, what are the transformation key drivers in the industries, and actually from concept to customer value. That's the points that I will touch during the presentation. Let's start with a reality check. And we have to keep in mind those numbers because they are very significant. By 2028, we will have 33% of the enterprise software application that will include AI and Agentic AI. And we are talking about now September 25, and actually in 1.5 years ago, we had only 1% of the application software, enterprise software with Agentic AI. It's a huge jump. But we will see also what does it mean, very concrete. And by the end of 2027, actually in 2.5 years, 2 years, a little bit more, we will have 40% of Agentic AI project will be canceled due to cost explosion, unclear business value, and last but not least, inadequate risk controls. And that's the reason why we should really talk about the governance, about the risk, and what kind of risk the AI will bring also with the software and also for the customers. The readiness is where do we stand? If we are talking about the readiness, we have to talk about the technology. And with technology, I mean the data access, the APIs, the security baseline. That's one of the most important topics that we have to talk about. Then we will move to the skills. And the skills, it means product, data, machine learning, prompts, LLM, operations ops, and also domain leads. Then we have to talk about the culture, because we have to create a kind of culture of outcome first and the experimentation, expectation management of experimentation. Not every project will be a success. We have to calculate that and to keep in mind that it means also that's one of the reasons why by 2027, 40% of the projects will fail due to also to the cost explosion if you don't make that in the right manner. And the governance. The governance, because we have now since August, I will explain in one slide later. The governance, it means risk monitoring and audit and trail policies. What does it mean? Very exactly. We have the European AI Act. And actually, the AI Act regulates every kind of control and every kind of governance in the AI projects. And compliance in AI projects is no more an option. Compliance is part of the project. And you will see also, not only due to the fines, but also due to the outcomes that you have, it's a very important topic that we have to consider. And the European AI Act is in force since August, actually. And we have some verticals like financial services, healthcare, critical infrastructure that we have to consider in a very, very strict way. And especially in those verticals, I will add also defense. We have real huge risk that we have to mitigate, to control, and to put the right governance in. Otherwise, the project will fail, and not only the project will fail due to the outcomes that are wrong, probably, but we will have also lots of fines. And the time is ticking, and I will show you later on in a timeline what does it mean. And the actions from the European community are already announced. The penalties since August 25 under the European AI Act is in place are around about 35 million or 7% of the global annual revenue. If you're thinking about your company or also other companies, it's a huge risk that we have to mitigate, to control, and to understand how to afford this kind of risk. The timeline. How is the timeline exactly from probably you already recognize that, but the AI Act is in force since August 24. Last year they started with that. The prohibition are in act since February 25. The general purpose AI rules are from August 25, so last month, are already in place. And the high-risk enforcement will start in 1 year, in August 26. And the full application of all the AI governance rules will be done by August 27. Yeah, the time is running, and we have really to face this kind of task that now every kind of enterprise software that's using agentic AI has to be considered. What is actually the European AI Act, and which are the requirements that we have to fulfill? It's not impossible to fulfill that, but it is a lot of work, to be honest. And we have many different pillars on that. One of them is the governance and accountability. It's one probably of the most important one. It means in the governance and accountability, you have to describe exactly what are the AI risk implementations that you have, and you have to describe also the testing, the deployment, how is the escalation path, and so on. It means all the rules should be written here in this element. Then we have the data and quality management. We are talking about data, and those data has to be proved that they are not fake data. And after then, we have to look on the transparency and explainability. So every kind of data that you are using for your LLM, for example, to train the system, you have to explain where coming the data. What is the source of the data has to be described very exactly. And we have then the human oversight, as always the human in the loop. It's important to understand and also to judge at least. Then we have to have a look on the robustness and the security and testing of the data. It's a very important topic because the data that you have has to be very robust on that. Then we have the third party and supply chain management. You are not working alone in an island. Yeah, you're working with many different systems. Your system will be fed probably from other systems. You are dependent from other data. You have also to control also the other data, the chain of the other data. And then we have also the compliance and reporting, to be compliant and to be reported, because, you know, we have to describe that as it should be also documented every single step. It's a lot of work, I can tell you. And how to reply this kind of work? There are many different platforms in the market. I will just pick up one of them, the LoopMind platform. There are many different platforms in order to put in act the European AI Act. And because you know there are 7 different pillars that you have to fulfill and you have to control, it's near to impossible to do that by one human or by many humans. You need a machine in order to have always the plausibility checks on that. Yeah, and those kind of tools, here is just an example with the LoopMind platform. It's a governance as enabler, and it's a real-time AI operation and monitoring. It's very important to look in real time what are doing the data. And LLM as a judge for compliance check. It means we're using an LLM, and we train the LLM with heuristical data and with statistical data in order to judge the compliance check. And then we have always the human in the loop validation. And then we have the AI Act as a compliant by design. It means we fit the system with the AI compliant AI Act compliant, and the full audit trail and context preservation. That's what is also inside of the tool. With such kind of tools, you can work a little bit more comfortable, but there's still a lot of work that should be done in order to be compliant, in order to avoid also the fines that are in place latest by 2026. What is to add on that? Governance mitigates risks, but there are also opportunities on that. There are opportunities with the agentic AI. You can really create opportunities. I will show you later on an example how you can really transform an industry on that and how you can work on that. And let's define the future of AI. What does it mean? What should be the ideal start for an AI project in order to implement really an agentic AI systems? Yeah, we will put in a proof of concept. And you know, and we heard also today during the other speeches that lots of proof of concepts will be stopped. Due to calculation, due to explosion of cost, due to return on investment. Yeah, it means we have really to give a strong look on the proof of concept. Then we will skip to the pilot, and where 70% of the projects at the moment are failing. And then with the production, where you can really excel on that, we can start with the production, scale, with the project and compliance checklist, introduce a compliance checklist. Those are the steps in order really to start an agentic AI project for enterprise software in an ideal way. And what does it mean, really concrete? Yeah, you can have the 4 steps on that, yeah, where other steps you can really scale on that. It means generating business value because agentic AI, you have also lots of cost on that because you have to create your own agent, and the agents are not for free, for sure. You have to train the model, you have to train the agent, and probably you have also to refine the agent on that. It means you can really generate a business value on that if you are working with the right agents or with agent forces. Yeah, and we will have a design for production from day one. It means you have to start the project if the project is already in production. It means not just try to do it, but you have to consider every point of that. If I'm saying you have to consider every point, it means security, data lineage, and also audit logs. You have to consider that you have to put those tasks already from day one. It's very, very important. Otherwise, you have a lot of work after them, and the cost will really explode. It's very easy to start to build up an agent. It's very sophisticated to control the cost of an agent. And you can put then guardrails and evaluations, always to thresholds to see if the project is still in the corridor that you presume and you designed. You have RAG evaluation, red teaming, bias. You have to consider that you cannot use data that they have a bias in. Yeah, it means that we have to use unbiased data. It's also a very tricky operations on that. And then in the part of the operate, yeah, it means LLM operations with monitoring, rollback, prompts, policy, versioning, and so on, in order to have always a consistent and consistent data in the system, and also a consistent release of the agents. Yeah, it means like a kind of software release for the agents. And then all the part of change management and training for human-agent collaboration. It means where do you put the human in the loop and how to interact with the human in the loop. It's a very important topic. It's a question also of change management that you have to work in. Probably you remember the introduction of Microsoft Copilot. It was very easy, but it's a change management to really put all the potential that you have with such kind of software. It's not just to put in a software, it's not just to put in an agentic AI system, it's really also to create a change management environment in order to have an explosion also in productivity. And how the industry can be transformed, yeah, I will show you that in an example with Honeysales. I don't know if you know the company Honeysales is here in Berlin. And what they're doing, Honeysales, they really transformed the B2B sales. Yeah? They create a multi-agent agentic AI B2B lead generation. What does it mean? You know, huge sales forces of many different companies in the telco business, in the automotive industry, in the pharma industry. They are working with CRM, for sure, like everyone, but in most of the cases, it's the static CRM. Yeah? It means they are working with data. They are a little bit static and not really mobile in this case. And Annie says they saw an opportunity to accelerate the lead generation. And how are they doing that? The solution is based on AWS, yeah, with a multi-agent assistant that analyzes CRM data, defines the ideal customer profile, and based on the ideal customer profile, they identified the high potential prospects. It means if you have 1,000 prospects, for example, yeah, they're not looking every prospect in a single way. They define a heuristics model based on a multi-agent environment. And with this heuristic model, they are looking how does it fit with the ideal customer profile. If it fits, then they generate the lead. It means they really reduce the lead time of the generation of leads in a really, really huge way. And you can really improve the productivity of the sales forces, yeah? And it's not just to substitute sales forces. Don't misunderstand me. You still need the account managers, yeah, for sure. But you can really work in a systematic way how to approach the ideal customer profile. It means you don't invest lots of time in leads that they don't really generate a value for you, for your company. With this system, yeah, you can really generate a value because you are reaching the ideal customer profile in a much, much faster way. The onboarding, for sure, is in minutes, and the streamlined ideal customer profile creation generated lots of qualified leads. And you can also show that also by our colleagues here. From concept to customer value, what does it mean for us? It's very easy. Yeah, your AI journey starts today. It means AI readiness assessment, then the strategy and the governance framework that we're using on that, and the first production agent with all the rules and all the constraints that we already saw in the last slides. And what is the ROI reality? Because we are talking about lots of knowledge that we have to invest, also machine power that we have to invest. Yeah, and here we have some studies that we analyzed from, they are also in the internet. You can, Perplexity, you can surf that, is from Bain and from McKinsey. In the insurance vertical, it's a classical vertical, I would like to say, for agentic AI, by the way. Yeah, we have up to 100 billion productivity opportunity in P&C claims handling, and especially in claims handling, the agentic AI will bring really a new wave of speed, a new wave of precision, and lots of reductions of cost. It's a really, really cool vertical to work in. Then we have the pharma and med products with 60 till 110 billion annual value potential from Gen AI. And then we have also the manufacturing. The manufacturing, actually, the most improvement that we have is in predictive maintenance. Predictive maintenance, we can reduce the downtime from 30 to 50%. It's very important, for sure, in the manufacturing. And the maintenance costs can also be reduced by 10 till 40%. And the time is now over. And I'm finished. Thank you very much, and enjoy the networking dinner.